What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the studio. So, I know it's been a minute. I know. And this type of video is just gonna be like one of them type of videos where you don't have to really watch it. It's like in a podcast type of form. So you go listen to it instead of watch it. So you could just throw this in the background and just hear about where the hell I've been at and where this channel is gonna be headed afterwards. So before I get into that, like, comment, subscribe, share it with friends and family. So let's go on and get into it. Let's get into the reason where I've been at, pretty much. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been at military training. I am in the reserves. I was active duty for about 5-6 years, but I switched over to the reserves because I just really wanted to finish college and just didn't really want to deal with the military and college at the same time. So even though I'm still doing that now, but it's just on a part-time scale, but I didn't want to really deal with the Army full-time anymore, and I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. So I switched over to the reserves, and that's why they had me for 2 weeks for my 2 weeks of training. But if you're in the reserves, I'm pretty sure you know how this goes. So if you are, shout outs to you. You know the struggle and all that jazz. So I got back Sunday night and didn't have much time to rest. So I ended up going to work the next day, and I've been at work ever since. So I haven't had time to, really make content. And on top of that too, I've also started school on Monday, so I had to make sure all my college classes were straight, make sure I had all my equipment and all my, my supplies for college and all that stuff, because just because I'm a grown-ass man don't mean I can't, go school supply shopping like I used to when I was a kid, so I don't get as much. It looks funny when I go up in there trying to get school supplies for myself for the semester. It's like I go get like 4 spiral notebooks and some pens, and that's it. That's all I get. But other than that, it's just trying to find sleep, trying to find time to do anything. In these past 3 weeks, it's been tough. But this weekend, I'll be maxing, relaxing, watching shows. I was about to say keeping up with shows, but playing catch up with all my shows and content that I have in the works. So trust me, content is going to be made, content is going to be dropped, and everything is going to be Gucci back with this channel. So what kind of content I'll be making again? So I've seen all the comments, I've seen everybody, all the praise that I get for certain videos, and I will be doing that more. And that's for sure. With each Final Fantasy game, I'm gonna talk about each villain, because I like the villains more than I like the main, protagonist. I like the antagonist more than the protagonist. And with that video that you guys had commented on, the Strangers of Paradise video I didn't think that video was gonna make it as far as it did. To be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be a dud, because I didn't think nobody was really gonna play that game. But I was really shocked that people actually really played this game. So I thought I was the only one that played it, to be completely honest with you. But that does not mean that I will stop making Final Fantasy content, though. I really do like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is one of the games that got me into JRPGs in the first place. Matter of fact, they got me into RPGs in general. Like, I would say Pokemon was the very first RPG I played, but the one I really paid attention to and actually, learn mechanics from, and actually can say that, it influenced me to play other JRPGs was Final Fantasy. So I would say that I owe them, that game, a lot of love, because it's part of my childhood. So from here on out, I will be doing Final Fantasy lore when it comes down to their villains, because like I said, I love their villains. Now I might skip over Sephiroth, because man, if you don't know who Sephiroth is, then I don't know what to tell you. But I'm gonna do like the obscure type of villains, like we did. I did Golbez. That was the first ever villain. He's chaos. We're going to do the Emperor. I'm going to do Kefka, even though a lot of people know who Kefka is. We're just going to go down the line. I might do some protagonists, but it's the antagonists that I'm more, into than the protagonist, because I'm not a real big fan of Cloud or Squall. So, the little emo guys, I'm not a real big fan of those guys. So, and not just that, we're also going to be doing fighting game lore again, because a lot of people have gone to my Killer Instinct video with Jago and all that stuff, and they were like, hey, are you going to do more Killer Instinct videos? Because there's a rumor going around that Killer Instinct 2 is coming out. And I hope and pray that's a real thing, because Killer Instinct needs some love just like any other fighting game. Street Fighter 6 is coming out, and I'm also going to do a video about that as well. Killer Instinct 2, that in the pipeline. Some people are saying that's a rumor that it's coming out and it's being made. Mortal Kombat 12, I haven't really heard nothing about that. Injustice 3, like just a list of fighting games. I'm just naming off names. So we're going to go back to doing that kind of stuff, lore and all that kind of jazz. I'm also going to go back to live streaming, but I still need to get that worked out because I want to not just be the only one on the stream. I want to have like guests on there as well, playing games with me and stuff. So hopefully I can, work that out with, some other YouTubers and maybe some friends, and we can all do that. Now, the one thing that I will start doing that I should have been doing a long time ago is we're going to do more comic book stuff as well. So like, for instance, we just got this long 3-year lineup of Marvel movies that are coming out. And some of that stuff are actually rooted in the comic books, like Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty. I've seen so many videos from other YouTubers come out with Kang Dynasty videos and Secret War videos. I'm like, I'm gonna throw my hat in there too, because I know a lot about those storylines as well. And those storylines, I love those storylines, because those type of stories bring in a lot of heroes that aren't in the MCU yet. So we already know when those movies come out, be expecting to see a lot of heroes that you have not seen in the MCU yet. Hopefully they don't introduce them before those movies, but if they do, that's cool too. So we're going to talk about those over time as well. So with the news that's came out recently, I have read them, I have seen it, and we're going to briefly touch on them in this video so that I don't make multiple videos about separate topics and all that jazz. So first, we're going to start off with the Pokemon news and the whole, Scarlet Violet, everything that we gotten from that trailer that came out. Well, not a trailer, but the little showcase they had 2 weeks ago. And honestly, I'm a big fan of the legendary Pokemon. I am kind of upset that, Miraidon, I think the orange one, that he doesn't really use his tires on, like his wheels on his chest to help him get around. Now the purple one, the one that's on Violet, I think that's Horizon or whatever. Don't at me. I just don't remember the names that well. He actually turns into an actual motorcycle. So I will be playing him first. I'll be playing that game first before I switch over to Scarlet. But all in all, I already dropped my $120. You probably look at this up, $120, bro. What the fuck? I pre-ordered this game. I collect Pokemon games, so when a new Pokemon game comes out, I usually just get up and go pre-order it. Even if it's bad, I still pre-order it, because later on down the line, these games is gonna cost a pretty penny, and a lot of people are gonna want to buy these games for like $100, $200 maybe. I'm a collector, so that's what I do. But game looks good, in my opinion. Some people complain about it. I'm like, I feel like the people that complain about it probably grew out of Pokemon. Like, they're probably over the age of 21 and they've been playing Pokemon for years. And like, I've seen somebody complain about the gimmicks and stuff. I'm like, hey, it's just not for you anymore. I'm not gonna complain about the gimmicks, because I'm like, hey, I'm just here to see what the story's about, what they're doing with the game. That's why I buy the Pokemon games, to also collect them, but also to see what new mechanics they added, what's new about the game. That's all I care about. It's like, what's new about the game. I'm kind of glad they change up gimmicks every new generation, because I'm like, Mega Evolutions would have probably got stale by this generation if they kept doing them. And the way the gaming community is set up, somebody gonna bitch and moan about, certain Mega Evolutions being OP, or why he get one and the other one didn't. It's always gonna happen, whether we like it or not. People saying that, regional variance is lazy, and I'm like, if that's lazy, then have you been outside before? Because regional variance is based on real life shit. Like, in our region, say like, for instance, I'm not real good with animals like that, but say like, I'll think of a crocodile. Okay, a crocodile in Florida, okay, might look different from a crocodile in Japan, if they have crocodiles in Japan. I don't know. I honestly don't know if they got crocodiles in Japan, but you get my drift here. We got, like, for instance, you got leopards in Africa. They got black and yellow spots, but a snow leopard in the Himalayas is a white leopard with black spots. So that's what regional variance is for. It's not lazy. They're just showing us like, hey, just like in the real world, in the Pokemon world, there's also different types of Pokemon with different variants. So when I see people say that, I'm like, bro, they're basing this shit off of real life. Like, that's actually pretty dope. I actually did like that. So, but then again, that's just grown ass men and women crying over a kid's game. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to it. It comes out in November? It's pretty much the end of August at this point. So we got 2 more months? I'm looking forward to it. So another game that's actually coming out in October that I actually am looking forward to, and I seen it. It was kind of a little rough around the edges, but hopefully that it looks good by the time the game comes out, and that's Gotham Knights. I've been looking forward for Gotham Knights for quite some time now. It's been delayed a couple times, and like they said, it's gone gold recently. So I'm like, when it means it's gone gold, that means that the game is done and they're printing it onto disc, but it does not mean that the game won't get delayed. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to pulling the strap out as Red Hood and, and letting that hammer fly with the with fucking Red Hood. But other than, I'm going to use everybody else too. Batgirl can get her love. And we're going to talk about Batgirl in just a moment. Nightwing, Robin, but nah. Red Hood's my guy. Now I've seen the complaints about, oh, he looks stupid with his little I guess his little double jump thing that he does, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a reason why he got his little double jump thing like that. I'm like, there's a easy explanation on why Red Hood can do that, and it always goes back to the League of Assassins. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you can't come up with something and you just want to sit there and say it looks stupid because you're a cynical asshole, then that's just you. Got no control, ain't gonna change your mind because I don't give a fuck. Now, Batgirl, I do like her character design. Matter of fact, I like all their designs. I like all their costumes. I seen people complain about how come we can't get Cassandra Cain, and other Bat family members. I'm like, maybe they are gonna give us that. Maybe there could be a sequel. They could be planning a sequel if this game does well. So if this game does well, we could be getting a sequel, and we could be getting, Cassandra Cain. We could be getting Orphan, Spoiler, Batwing, all those types of guys. Hell, we might even get Terry McGinnis if we get lucky. So I just wish people would temper their complaining and be all like, wait until the game come out. They could be DLC. We'll just have to wait and see. I highly doubt there'll be DLC, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, with Batgirl, with her movie being canceled, thanks to WB, nice little segue I did there too, but then also not that great of a segue. Batgirl got canceled. The movie got canceled, and I did a video about it maybe 2 weeks ago. I think I did about 2 weeks ago. And I didn't know she was getting a movie. I'll just be completely honest with you. I heard that she was supposed to be getting one, but I didn't think they was really going through with it. I just thought that they was just brainstorming on which hero can get a movie. And gonna find out she actually was getting a movie. Then once I went and watched all the behind the scenes, Firefly was gonna be the main villain, Michael Keaton was gonna be the Batman of her movie and all that jazz. And I'm like, so does this happen before Flashpoint or after Flashpoint? Because a Flash movie is technically supposed to reset everything, which it does, because in the comic books it does that. That's how we get the New 52 and all that jazz. So it's just like, what's going on? What are they doing? It's like, we don't know. But then that's where Warner Brothers Discovery comes in, because they merged, and now they're just a bloodbath going on. Things are just getting canceled left and right. Young Justice got canceled, which really, really, really pissed me off. But I got no control over it, y'all. I seen somebody made a comment on Reddit before I stopped using it, and he said that I'm just gonna go back to reading the comics because WB just can't get shit right. And I'm like, I didn't want to agree with them, because there's some things that they did that I did like, which was Peacemaker, the recent Suicide Squad movie that came out. I thought that was a good movie, I'm not gonna lie. Shazam, the first one was good, the second one looks great. Black Adam looks amazing. And it's just, some things are hit or miss. But I say the same thing about Marvel. Marvel has some hits, they had some misses. The Eternals, that was a way off miss. Dear God, I think that movie was just made to set up the Black Knight, which was only 10 seconds, which was crazy to me. But it's just DC had more misses than they had hits. And they're saying that they're just starting things over. They want to start from scratch. They want to get somebody who can be their Kevin Feige for DC. And I'm like, bro, stop trying to be like Marvel. Even more, sometimes Marvel stuff don't work out. Be your own, make your own thing, make your own universe. It's really not that hard, honestly. Just say all heroes live in one world and all that, one universe. I can't say that, but it's not really that hard, because I've seen people on the internet come up with really good. When I say this, I never thought fan fiction would be this good, but some of the fan fiction I've read about the DC universe and how they will run it, it's pretty dope. It's pretty legit. Now, they all start things off with Batman, but they branch off from Batman. I've seen some people started off with Green Lantern, Superman. It's like, wow, this is amazing. Like, so it's not hard to make a DC universe like how Marvel does things. But the one thing that I can say that is annoying that everybody is trying to copy Marvel, but I'm like, even Marvel has some flaws that they can fix. You know, we're not gonna get into it, but there are some flaws that they can fix and they need to fix. Same thing with DC. But at the end of the day, I feel like DC, Warner Brothers, Discovery, whatever they want to call themselves, they need to have their own identity. When people hear, oh, they're just, they're trying to get their own Kevin Feige, that turns people off. That turns me off, because I'm all like, why can't you do things differently? Why can't y'all be your own thing? Like, like for instance, the Batman movie that came out with Robert Pattinson in it, that's its own thing. Like, maybe you don't have to have the heroes team up just yet. Maybe build their universe first. Have us, fall in love with these characters first before you be all like, all right, let's have them team up with Superman. Let's have Superman have like 2 dope ass movies. Then like we'll see like, okay, these movies did well. Should we have them team up with Batman? Should we have, should we do that? Should we have Batman come over at the end of a Superman movie and be like, hey, I need your help? And just have a little small team up movie between them two before y'all, blow up and make a whole Justice League movie or JSA movie or whatever. Like, baby steps, man. Baby steps. Like, they already got a 10-year plan. I'm like, and what are those 10-year plan? What does that entail? And like, they said this before, because I forgot. They have said this before. They said this 10 years ago that they had a plan. They had a whole list of heroes that's supposed to come out with movies. Half of them motherfuckers ain't got movies. Cyborg didn't get one. Green Lantern didn't get one. Flash is he getting his. Wonder Woman, she did get hers. Shazam, he did get his. He's getting a sequel. So it's like, it's just a lot. It's like, instead of a 10-year plan, baby steps. Figure out what's the task. Deal with the task ahead. Deal with what you got in front of you first before you start thinking about later on down the line. Because I feel like if you do stuff like that, you're just going to mess yourself up, honestly. Now, I know some people won't agree with me on that, and that's fine. But I feel like just deal with what you got in front of you first before you start trying to, build off of that. Like, you haven't even got that fixed yet. Like, for instance, The Flash. Ezra Miller fucking up big time. Fix that first before y'all can even think about having spin-offs and who gonna get the next movie. They said Black Adam, there's supposed to be spin-offs off of that movie. I just found that out last night that they're trying to do spin-offs for Black Adam. I'm like, who all in that movie is getting a spin-off? The only person I can really think of, 2 people I can think of that would be legit when it comes down to getting a spin-off is Hawkman and Dr. Fate. But everybody else on the JSA, not so much. So it's just like, at the end of the day, WB, they trying. I understand they trying, but at the same time, like, baby steps, man. Baby steps. Now, when it comes out on Marvel, I did watch the first episode of She-Hulk, and I did like it. I liked it a lot, honestly. And, like, hopefully we get to see more of the Hulk in that TV series, because the Hulk won't be getting a movie for a while. So, the fact that this is about as close as we can get to the Hulk as we can get, hey, I'm all for it. And it was actually pretty funny. Like, she was so worried about if Captain America was a virgin or not. And I'm like, shit, you so worried about if he a virgin or not? Shit, go call the dude up. See if go put that thing on him real quick, and you'll see if he a virgin or not. But at the end of the episode, the Hulk said that no, he ain't a virgin, which is very hilarious to me. So you can tell that this ain't geared towards kids at all. Now, like I said early in the video, Marvel, they had some hits or misses too, like the Eternals. Man, that Snoresville, bro. I fell asleep during that movie. Like, whoever thought the Eternals needed a movie. First of all, their explanation for why they didn't help out with Thanos, that shit was like, bro, y'all trash. Y'all automatically villains to me at that point. Like, y'all didn't help out with Thanos. But then again, they probably, just like me, they probably agreed with Thanos. Be like, yeah, some of y'all motherfuckers need to go. But the Eternals wasn't that great. In my humble opinion, Ms. Marvel wasn't that great. But the only reason why I said Ms. Marvel wasn't great, because I'm a 28-year-old grown-ass man, all right? She is a teenage superhero. And just watching the first 2 episodes, I knew for a fact. I had common sense. I'm not like all those incels on the internet. I have common sense. This is not geared towards me at all. This is geared towards my nieces and nephews. They're all under the age of 14, and they all loved it. Especially my nieces. They loved Ms. Marvel. So it's like, this is who it's geared for. geared towards. Now, when you sit there and tell an incel on the internet, I'm like, well, dude, it wasn't made for us, man. Like, we have stuff that we can go watch, like The Boys and all that stuff. But instead, they rather take to the internet and voice their displeasure over a teenage superhero. And it has you think to yourself, like, damn, bro, it really hurt your feelings that much that she got a TV series? Like, by God, go outside, touch some grass, my dude. Like, it ain't that deep. Like, I don't see how people can really sit up on the internet and voice displeasure over something that they don't really have to watch, And, then they talk about the wokeness. I'm like, well, The Boys is woke. But they don't want to hear that. That's part of the video they don't want to hear. So I leave that alone because I'm like, at the end of the day, it's just like, it just shows they use that kind of stuff to cover up their sexist, their racism and all that stuff. We know that's what they use. It's just trying to be woke. But all actuality, we know what y'all really trying to be and what y'all really trying to say. It ain't that deep. You ain't got to pay no attention. But like I said, Ms. Marvel, it just wasn't for me. She-Hulk, I actually found it funny. Moon Knight, I actually did like Moon Knight. But this long list of movies and TV shows they got coming out, I'm like, there's something there for everybody. Like I said, if you're not a fan of Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk, later on down the line, we're getting a Daredevil. Daredevil's coming back, born again. So rejoice, be happy. I know I'm happy because Daredevil on Netflix was fucking amazing. I loved that from start to finish. It was really, really good. And it got done dirty. Everybody on Netflix got done dirty. And I felt like they should bring every actor and actress that was in the Netflix series, is just going to bring them over. And I also seen that, parents and whatever, they're all upset because they added the rated R Daredevil and all that jazz. And just like I said, you don't have to watch Ms. Marvel. You don't have to watch this either. It's called the fucking V-chip. It's called parental control. Like, goddamn, be a parent. Goddamn. Like, it's not that hard, fam. Like, be a fucking parent. But besides that, you get Daredevil Born Again, and I think later on down the line, we're getting a Echo. I think Echo goes first. But I'm really looking forward to the Secret Invasion TV show, because I always wanted to see what Nick Fury does. Like, let this dude get some action. Let this dude get some screen time. Like, he roughly don't get much screen time in the movies, but when he does, it's iconic, always. In my opinion, it's iconic. So, like I said, Marvel got some hit or misses, just like DC. Marvel's not perfect, even though some people trying to make it seem like they're perfect. I'm not going to cap. Thor, Love and Thunder was a miss for me, but Multiverse of Madness, I fucking loved it. I loved it because I love the multiverse. I love seeing different variants of heroes. You won't always see the same hero, and that's why I try to tell folks, these cartoons, these TV shows where you see different actors and actresses playing these superheroes, just chalk it up as the multiverse. You might not like it, but at the same time, it's just the multiverse. And sooner or later, we're all going to get a crossover with Secret Wars. So at the end of the day, like I said, hit or misses. Like the Spider-Man cartoon that's coming out. We can't go 4 years without a Spider-Man cartoon. Like at least 4 or 3 years. I could have sworn the Spider-Man cartoon on Disney XD just recently ended. And now we're getting another one for Disney Plus. And they're saying that it's not connected to the Tom Holland Spider-Man series, which I'm okay with. But at the same time, it's just like, what? So what is this connected to? Because once I saw Doc Ock on the front, I was like, Dr. Octopus? Really? Then they seen Norman Osborn. I'm like, all right, this can't be connected to the MCU because that's Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn hasn't popped up, and Peter hasn't made no type of mention to Norman in none of his movies. So we'll just have to wait and see. That one right there, I'm just going to sit back and wait and see, because it's a hit or it's probably gonna be a hit or miss. It's probably gonna be a miss for me because I believe other Marvel heroes should get cartoons and animated series. I love Spider-Man just as much as the next person, but like I said, we can't go 3 or 4 years without a Spider-Man cartoon. We can't go 3 or 4 years without a Batman cartoon. So it's just like, hey, y'all got other heroes. Can y'all use them? Like, I would like to see a Moon Knight cartoon. I would like to see a Deadpool cartoon. I would like to see, X-Men is coming back with 97, so that's off the table. I would like to see the Inhumans get treated right. Like, the Inhumans got dogged out so badly. Like, they got done so dirty, they made Ms. Marvel a mutant. And that is bad. We all know she's inhuman, but they decided, fuck that, she's a mutant. I understand they want to bring in the X-Men, but like, come on, bro. Come on, cause that part I did have an issue with. I'm like, So just because y'all like the Inhumans, y'all decided no, Miss Marvel's not gonna be Inhuman. What the fuck? That's some bullshit. But that's what I mean by, they got their hits and they got their misses. That was a miss in my book. But all in all, that's all I got for you guys, man. I'm gonna be making more content. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I hope y'all being safe. I hope y'all putting yourself first. That's the thing that I want to close out this video with before I start making more content and y'all start seeing me more. Put yourself first, always. You're not being selfish, because at the end of the day, your mental health should mean more to you than anything else. Fuck what anybody else got to say. If you got to step back and take time for yourself, by all means, step back and take time for yourself. Don't let nobody tell you that you're being selfish, because at the end of the day, you're not going to mean shit to nobody if you're not in the right headspace. So take this from me, somebody that actually was dealing with an anxiety attack recently. You got to put yourself first, regardless of what people think or what people say or how they feel. If they got a problem with them, they can go fuck themselves. But other than that, guys, I love y'all. Take care of yourselves. More content's coming soon. Peace.